Hi people. So last time I promised that I will show you some of my animation process, how do I move characters around and how I try to combine like characters rigged with 3D rigs with completely flat graphics like this. Okay, so in my last video, this very long one, I rigged like some kind of weird creature, like forest creature, and well, today I just want to add it to this scene and try to move it around a little bit. So let's start. I will just append like the whole collection with where everything is nested, like grease pencil objects and the rig and stuff like that. And as you can see, I don't know if it's totally clear, but it kind of corresponds to the perspective. So it doesn't look it not fitting like the scene, and this is all because when I started creating this background, I used this guide system. So this 2D drawing is actually properly nested in 3D space, so with the perspective going more or less accurately. So if you put actual 3D objects in it, let's try with something much simpler, for example with the cube. As you can see, it kind of fits. When you move it around, it kind of fits like the perspective of the drawing. So it's quite cool, and it's a good way to start working with 3D characters inside the 3D scenes, right? So 2D scenes, sorry. And yeah, so right now I've got this this character which is like in some kind of A pose, and as you can see, it kind of I think it's set to be in front. Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to be in front because I want to see what's actually happening. So right now it's kind of cut in half by the background. So I will just, since I'm not planning to move my camera at all in this animation, I can try to push it a little bit forward and place it somewhere, I don't know, maybe around here. So right now I'm just moving like the whole object, I mean the whole armature object. So I am just rotating it and scaling it down to fit the scene, and yeah, but I'm not touching like the pose mode yet. Okay, I think here will be okay. If I would try to move the camera around, then all the illusion would break, like because it would like totally messy. I mean, the character would like act weird because it would be like it would be moving with the different speed than the background. Like, I don't know if it makes sense. Okay, let's turn off the guides and let's turn off the meta rig because it's still visible here, right? So yeah, I don't want to see it anymore. Let's activate the rig and let's try to make some cool, interesting pose. Like nothing very fancy, and like this animation won't be very complicated as well, like because basically we don't have a time for it. The big problem with animation is that it's bloody time consuming, and probably with semi-complicated movement, it would last much longer than the last video with rigging, and it was over 1 hour long, so quite a long one. Yeah, so I'm trying to pose the character in some, I don't know, interesting way, like to look cool. The thing is that if you would pose the character for a game, like which would be like a game character at some point, you need to be sure that from every camera angle it looks more or less fine, right? It looks cool. We are not moving our camera at all, so all we should take care about is how does it look from the camera perspective. So sometimes in a 3D viewport, in a 3D view, the character looks really weird, like the arms are like disconnected and like bent into weird rotations and stuff like that. But all that actually matters for me is how does it look in the from the camera point of view of the camera, right? So yeah, let's say I know it's not like beautiful and very interesting position, like starting position, but let's call it like maybe it's enough for now. And about the animation, I don't want to make something really easy, but it can't be very complicated. Like complicated stuff can take like one shot can take like couple of days of work easily, even if it's like 5 seconds of animation. If it's complicated enough, it can take literally weeks. I mean, maybe not weeks, but a long time for sure. So basically what I want to do is like right now I'm just gonna keyframe all the bones in here. In fact, I probably should turn on the screencast keys to make it a little bit clear. Yeah, so right now I want to keyframe all the bones from this rig. I mean, definitely not all of them, because I'm just using like torso, fingers, eye case for arms, and eye case for legs. So all the rest is basically I won't be using it at all in this case. I mean, they are very handy, of course, but I really need to keep it simple. So yeah, so this is my first pose, right? I will move it a little bit further, like I don't know, up to frame 40 or something like that. Yeah, and as you can see in the dope editor, it's all set to interpolation mode, to constant interpolation. And I really like to start animating that way, because I don't know if it's a thing from animating like in 2D, where the two neighboring keyframes won't actually interpolate. You need to fill it with another drawing or something like that. But it really helps me to understand the movement better. So my plan is to make to move this guy from here to here in quite a similar pose, like maybe just facing like opposite directions. So I believe it will take around 32 frames. No, maybe it's too much. Let's start with 16. Of course, the cool thing is that you can always scale the animation and make it shorter or longer, whatever you want. This is the beauty of working with rigs. Okay, so as I said, like this is my first pose. This is will be my last pose. Right now I have all the bones selected, and I will go to global transform orientation. If I would go to local and would try to, oh, actually it works. But if I would try to rotate like the character, the bone would like kind of freak out or something like that. So I want to go to global and turn it around a little bit. Okay, so this would be my final pose, maybe. Yeah, maybe let's just fix the head a little bit. Yeah. Maybe let's change a little bit. Let's go back to local. um, I mean, generally when using like this 3D widget thing, I really like to work with the local transform orientations, because you can easily, for example, rotate the fingers and some bones which meant to be like rotated in some special axis. Like for example, like this heel bone, usually you should rotate it around like x-axis to make it work properly. Okay, so right now I've got two uh, I've got two poses, like the first one and the starting one and the final one. So in the middle I will select all the bones, because right now I need to figure it out what would be in between, like those two poses. With hand-drawn animation, I would use onion skins and stuff like that. And actually, I've got like add-on which kind of works as onion skins, but for 3D meshes, and it's quite cool. But we won't use it today. What I want to do is to, first of all, I want to put the character somewhere in the middle and start working on the pose to figure it out how it would look like for this character to move between those two positions. And to make things a little bit easier, I will use the breakdowner. And what breakdowner does, it's basically if I'll set it to like 50%, I don't know if you can see this little graph at the top of the 3D viewport. Right now it's set to 50%, more or less, yeah. So this is quite dull. I mean, yeah, let's turn off the music. I'm not sure if you even can hear it, but yeah. So right now it's kind of boring, and I don't know, like it's not working at all. And the first thing I like to work on in such a cases, especially on the animation which contain like walking sequences and stuff like that, is like to take really good care about how the feet work. So basically, if I will using the breakdowner, if I will put the interpolation to 0, my right foot will go back to the starting point of the animation, right? And if I would like push it 100% forward, it will go to its final position. So, well, it still looks like crap, right? But yeah, but much better than few seconds ago, actually. This is like really widespread like legs, so looks a little bit funny, but yeah, let's work with that. I won't change it from don't want to start it from the beginning. So yeah, occasionally, I mean, I will go to hover around the character, like to check out what's actually going on. But as I said, the most important thing for me is it's actually like how does it look from the point of view of camera. And what I like to do at the very beginning, like working with the new rig, I want to select those 3 bones, so like IK controllers from arms and the torso bone, like I'm not sure if it's called torso, but like the main bone of the character actually. And I want to go to bone groups and create a new group and click assign. So I have a new group which contains only those 3 bones, because I very oftenly I've needed them to be selected at the same time, because when they are selected at the same time, I can manipulate them, and it makes my life a little bit easier, right? So yeah, let's play around a little bit. Oh, by the way, like thing which really helped me like to make things faster and I'm talking about the many stuff in Blender. It's like using like the quick favorites menu. So you open it by hitting Q, unless you have changed the shortcut, but by default it's Q. And as you can see in the pose mode, I got only two things right now, like to show or hide the gizmo and to select, like I literally added here like the select button to the quick favorites, right? Okay, and let's try to make this pose a little bit more interesting. Maybe like this, maybe like the head is kind of not catching up with the rest of the body. Maybe let's just move it like this. I don't know, like this is kind of this is actually one of the most important parts of the animation, when you are trying to figure it out how the breakdown keyframe would look like, because that's what makes animation interesting actually. I can see there is like some kind of rogue vertex, so the weight painting was that great. Probably I won't take care about it right now, maybe a little bit later. Okay, so I would probably want to work a little bit more on the arms. Yeah, but he kind of yeah, it's much better than the first version, but probably I will work a little bit more on it to make it a little less stiff. And I don't know, this is usually the the game of trying new things and trying different settings, different position for the particular parts of the character, and trying to figure it out what looks the best. And yeah, okay, let's say it's completely enough. Okay, so if I'm happy with those three poses, I can try to work on the keyframes which are between, like the starting pose, middle, the breakdown pose, and the final keyframe. So let's start with this one, and just like before, I will start with checking out how the character will act if I will play around with breakdowner. Okay, so I'll just set it like, because actually the movement is kind of starting here, so I don't want to create huge anticipation for the character, not to look like Looney Tunes characters, but a little bit of anticipation won't hurt. And sorry, and it's kind of like a little preparation for the movement won't hurt anybody, right? So probably I want to take his leg a little bit up, so it already moves towards the final position, but he kind of brings it up a little bit. Yeah, so maybe here. Okay, maybe here I will turn up the foot a little bit, and the toes as well. And here I will select all the bones and make it kind of also quite close to the final position, and tweak it a little bit. I will kill the rotation of the heel bone and the toes bone. For sure, to every time I try to pose the character, I ask myself, is it already in balance, or he wants to keep the balance, or is he off the balance, whatever. Like right now the character was kind of like this, so it would be in balance if he would be standing firmly on this leg, right? But I need this leg to, because it's the part of the movement when the other leg is actually being dragged like to the final position. So probably I would prefer to like to put it like this, more or less. Okay. Probably, I don't know, like probably it comes with experience, and but I can tell that this part should be a little bit slower than the rest. So what I want to do in here is to like scale the keyframes. I mean, in the dope sheet, I've got all the keyframes of all the bones. If you select like the top, like the keyframes from the top row, it automatically selects all the bones from the character. So my cursor is like set on the first frame, and if I will scale it like ×2, it will like spread the keyframes, like leaving a gap for additional frames, for additional keyframes. Okay, and I will try to use the breakdowner again, but this time I need the foot to be in the final position, more or less. Maybe I can try to turn up the heel and the toes a little bit. Yeah, here for sure is very fast, but I think, well, I'm pretty happy with what I've got so far, but I need to be kind of sure if it works, if because I need to decide at this point if I want to move forward or I need to like fix some stuff already. So the thing which many people don't know if it even exists, like in Blender, in particular in the pose mode, is the motion paths, and usually people go all the way up to graph editor and trying to work with the F curves, but as I said, I come from 2D animation, and I don't know, like working with the motion paths, it's like kind of more intuitive for me at this point. So basically what I want to do, I want to select like the this bone, like this base bone for my character, and I want to calculate the motion path, and nothing happens actually. Why nothing happens? Maybe I have turned off the motion paths now. Oh, sorry, I am in the wrong menu. See, like, because you can find like the motion paths both in the object properties, but I need to find motion paths in the rig properties. So okay, here they are, like the motion paths for the bones. And basically if I would select all the bones and I would calculate it, it would like make a big mess, which doesn't mean a thing. So cool thing is like that you can actually let's kill it, and I just want this bone. If I select just this bone and use calculate, I can see how it more or less goes. And for example, like I can see that in here it comes like linearly, like it's very straight, so maybe it would help to give it a little bit more like curvature. Okay, I'm pretty sure that we can go on with the rest of the poses, like kind of in betweens, right? So I'll be using the breakdowner most of the time and see what actually happens with my rig. Okay, I'm quite happy with it. I want to do like make same thing with the hand bones. So yeah, I think it's all for now. I don't think I have enough patience to go on with this scene. Probably I should move forward as usual. So tomorrow I'm planning to ride some bike. So probably I will find some other interesting place to take photos or something like that, and I'm pretty sure that I will create something new during the weekend. By the way, I hope you like this kind of a little bit longer videos. I mean, I really feel that making it really short makes you like skip a lot of very important information. So yeah, like tell me what you think about it. If it should be faster and more, I don't know, condensed, just let me know. And if you like this kind of over talked kind of video, then let me know as well. Goodbye, guys.